Yo, welcome back. I'm Clay, and today, instead of trying Overwatch 2, I got told I was cheating when I was just enjoying my brand new golden skin. Twice. All while watching The Witch from Mercury and laughing about how censored Overwatch 2 characters are, and at least we don't have to worry about all that with Gundam. But before we do get started, I want to thank all the people who recently subscribed and for all the love. You guys have been like extra wholesome this past week, so genuinely, thank you. And basically, I try to upload everything that I can, so if you're new, think about subscribing. And of course, you already know we're lighting this off with the best head you've ever seen.
Crazy.
Oh! And I was just sitting here vibing as Sniper, honestly. I never play it. I'm a Zaku main now, so getting called a cheater is the fruit of the gods. I really just eat it up, especially when you're sitting here memeing around, finishing weekly quests with your brand new golden boy that you got out of an RNG box. Really, it just can't get any better than this at this stage, and it's even more hilarious that I didn't land a single trick shot in any of the games that I played as Sniper. Like, literally, the coolest things I did were in that montage, and I got this Barbatos off like a little baby hop in a hallway. That was the extent of my sniping career. And I kept throwing that jump pad down in all the weirdest little spots that I could, and then I would rat around waiting to get flanked with my headphones locked in at max volume, just creeping, listening for the hum of those thrusters to creep up on me. And they'd hit the jump pad every time, and I'd try to snipe them, and obviously I'd just miss. I didn't land a single headshot like that. And honestly, as hard as I tried, I couldn't do it, and then I learned later on that if I ulted and tried to do it, it would be a lot easier. But at least it was a lot of fun. The only big problem I had was every time I restarted my game, it fixed the file for mouse acceleration and turned it back on, which makes, well, I don't know about you guys, but like just shooting in this game in general with mouse acceleration, like I can't do it. Like I miss everything with it on and I hit everything with it off. So it's either that or it's a skill diff because my main mobile suits don't transition well to anything without the W key. Like Barbatos Brain is all W key. And like I said, I'm a Zaku main now. And I've been playing so much Zaku 2 melee and range that basically at this stage I've probably become a Zaku pilot. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the Zaku boys are really starting to look like the new main characters of Gundam Evo when they're posed up in their emotes like this. I really think Bandai needs to get on top of their game. Some of these emotes are so fire and just look so clean. Then when I look at the rest of the game and they have such boring cosmetics, like it's the Gundam universe and the best we got was Golden Boy. Come on, bro. There's so many cool skin ideas. They could Fortnite this game and just full send it on skins and people would log in literally just to buy the skins. I know I would. As a matter of fact, full send it. Give me a Gundam Battle Royale inside of Gundam Evo. Because we actually do need more casual game modes, other than having the ranked playlist be the same as the casual playlist. It's actually just kind of cringe. Now, I was on a bit of a heater in the game I'm running in the background, and only later on, after many games of Sniper, that I realized your ultimate isn't just a scouting tool, it lets you trick shot and aim in while using the jump pad and just makes life way easier. So don't be like me and use your ult just to scout. Use it to hit those bangers. Because like I said, I don't play Sniper. Like it's just not a me character. And then the more I played Sniper, the more annoyed that I got that the Sniper can one bang you in the head, but Beam Magnum is always 2 hits. And it really makes me feel like headshot damage should just be capped at 800. And I know probably a lot of people don't like the sound of that, but I don't even like that there's a headshot multiplier in the game where half of the cockpits are in the chest of the mobile suits. It just seems really stupid and sweaty to have a headshot multiplier for no reason at all. And the main reason I see casual new players quitting is simply because the game is a sweat fest of who lands the most headshots and that they can't kite Barbatos. But if you play for more than like 20 games, Barbatos becomes a meme pretty quick and like everybody focuses him now, so he doesn't really get to do anything. And normally I would say headshot multipliers are fine in an FPS game, but it's not just an FPS game. It's a Gundam FPS game. And Gundam should feel more unique, in my opinion, compared to other FPS games. And don't get me wrong, I think they hit the fantasy with a couple of the mobile suits, but very clearly missed it with others. And the surprising skill ceiling just being so insanely high, you're going to end up with god tier players that eventually just go sicko mode and carry it like a crazy level. Kind of like another game I played called Naraka Blade Point. I grinded hard on that game. I was like top 10. And legitimately, it was the sweatiest, highest skill cap game I've ever played, and it died because it was too hard. And I'm not saying that Gundam is too hard, it just needs more casual fun game modes with some tweaks, honestly some tweaks to headshot multipliers, or just remove the headshot multiplier altogether. if you want tons of new people to love the game and not be hung up on some weird garbage, like if anything, the sniper should have specific weak points to shoot on each mobile suit to be able to get any kind of multiplier at all to its damage. I really don't think that it's actually that fair, and it's clearly just too oppressive to have in the game, and it's just not fun because a lot of people are quitting, or even when somebody's just on a bit of a heater, they accuse them of cheating. So, like, there's clearly an issue, which, like, if people played more and got more experience, like a casual mode like ARAM would go such a long way. Like, I think people that log into Legions might just go play ARAM to play with their friends, and I think those fun meme modes would help more people get into the game and really experience the potential of the mobile suits and, like, see the weaknesses of the other ones without feeling punished too hard in the current modes that we have. Because, like I said, Sniper's way too oppressive in the majority of lobbies if the guy's good on him, and I think Pale Rider's actually in the same boat, because if you're landing headies as Pale Rider, you're actually tearing people apart like way too quick. And I did not think it was that bad personally until I started getting a ton of comments about all the people's gripes with like how fast the TTK is, and started reading reviews and stuff, and then I realized that we have things that noobs can't deal with in a casual setting, and that's really horrible for a game's longevity in general. Like, as soon as that happens, you're like, okay, something needs to change immediately, because I've seen tons of cool games like this just fall apart like super fast, and I actually just want to see this game do well. So let me know what you guys think would be like good solid changes. I think my changes would be like just fine for the game, because if you've ever just like straight body shotted somebody, you kind of see the normal TTK and how it would look without headshot multipliers, and I really don't think it would be that bad. So, you know, more fun game modes, more fun maps, maybe like a 50v50, like that one Japanese Gundam game where they just go crazy. Like, that would just be insanely fun. I just don't want to keep seeing new player experiences get ruined constantly by the same things. And like, initially thinking Barbatos is broken is like fair and probably fine, because basically all of them figure out if they play more than 3 games, they can just kite him out. And if they weren't going to play more than 3 games, that they probably never would have found out about a headshot multiplier at all. So I really think that the headshot TTK is basically what people feel bad about after just reading a ton of feedback, and that could be fixed fairly easily, I think. So I really do think that would help the casuals out, because we need them for the game to thrive, because at the end of the day, like, ranked is still going to be the top 100 people playing against the top 100 people, the same lobby every time, and they're going to get bored anyways. Like, that's what always happens in all these games. So not having any new people in at all and never getting a switch up really does end up sucking. And that's really all I had to say. It was a bit of a rant about like what they could do better, because I just think Sniper's like kind of dumb, honestly. That's really all it comes down to, and headshot multipliers are ridiculous. But when we think about the future of Gundam, I think the future of Gundam as a series obviously is always going to be good and fine. I just want the game to do well too, because when I saw The Witch from Mercury, it got me heated up. And spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, go do that before you finish the video, because I almost lost my mind on the prologue. It was just so dark. It was so good. I loved it so much, and I really thought it was going to set the whole pace for the show. So when I watched episode 1, I was like, okay, I see where this is going. Like, I've watched Iron Blood Orphans, I know what's going to happen. And then I started seeing like all the comments on like Twitter, everything, and people are like, oh, it's so lighthearted, it's such a happy Gundam with lesbians. I was like, man, you guys are geared up for a wild ride. This shit is going to end up in like the darkest place, and it's going to be one of the best Gundams ever. Honestly, I really do think it's going to end up being really, really good. And for the people that are mad about the characters, honestly, stop being cringe. Just remember, Maggie exists, and he is by far the thickest and greatest thing that has ever happened in any Gundam thing ever. But aside from people being cringe, the whole show got me thinking about how strong Gundam Ariel actually is, because you think like a baby was tearing it up in this thing, and a little kid can go sicko mode in it. Like, what's its true skill diff? What power level does this thing even cap out at? Because its system basically just unalives you the harder and faster you go. And it kind of looked like Alea Vignana just like juiced up with way more power and seems absolutely broken. So it made me think that it might end up being one of the strongest ever. And if you know more about it, let me know. Like, don't try not to spoil it too much. I don't really know too much about Ariel systems, but I do want to know what you think about its early power level, or have an insight or into its true potential and where we might end up, because it just started and I think we might see something crazy.